You've done everything right. You cut the carbs. You started running. You stopped eating after 8 p.m. And yet, that stubborn belly fat is still sitting there, staring back at you in the mirror like it's mocking every green smoothie you've ever choked down. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. It's not your diet. It's not your discipline. It's a hormone. And it starts working against you the second you open your eyes in the morning. Stick with me for the next 9 minutes because I'm going to show you the exact morning routine that helps explain why Japan has some of the lowest obesity rates on Earth, and it costs you absolutely nothing. If this is your first time here, this channel exists for one reason: to help you build a life that starts with God, not with panic. So before we go further, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, because tomorrow morning you're going to want this again. Let's begin and talk about cortisol. You've probably heard the word thrown around: stress hormone. Cortisol makes you fat, but almost nobody explains why or what to actually do about it. So let's fix that right now. Every single morning, whether you realize it or not, your body goes through something scientists call the cortisol awakening response, CAR for short. Within about 30 minutes of waking up, your cortisol can rise by roughly 50%. That's not a flaw. That's biology doing its job. Cortisol is supposed to spike a little to get you up, alert, and moving. It's your body's built-in alarm clock. The problem isn't that cortisol rises. The problem is how high it rises and how long it stays elevated. When that spike runs too hot for too long, your body reads it as one thing: danger. And when your body thinks it's in danger, it does something ancient and incredibly stubborn. It starts storing fat, specifically around your midsection, wrapped around your organs, like your body is building itself armor. Research published in the journal Obesity has linked elevated morning cortisol specifically to increased abdominal fat. Not your arms, not your thighs, your belly. Because in your body's ancient survival logic, visceral fat is the emergency reserve tank closest to your vital organs, which means something most people never hear from a personal trainer: you cannot out-crunch a hormone. So what actually works? For that answer, we look to Japan, a country where the average morning doesn't start with a phone alarm and a coffee IV drip. It starts with a quiet, deliberate ritual that's been calming the nervous system for generations, long before a single scientist ever studied cortisol. Here are the 5 habits. Habit number 1, asa no mizu, morning water. Picture the average morning. Alarm goes off. Feet hit the floor, straight to the kitchen, straight to the coffee machine. It feels productive. It feels normal. It's actually one of the worst things you can do to your body first thing in the morning. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you wake up mildly dehydrated. Your cells have been running on fumes all night. Now hit that already stressed, dehydrated body with caffeine, a stimulant. Before it's had a sip of water, you're not waking your body up gently. You're throwing a lit match onto a cortisol spike that's already climbing. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman has said it plainly, over and over: hydrate before you caffeinate. In Japan, the habit is called asa no mizu, morning water. It's simple almost to the point of feeling silly. A glass of warm water, not cold. A tiny pinch of sea salt, a squeeze of fresh lemon. That's the entire ritual. 2 minutes, no equipment, no subscription. The warm water gently wakes your digestive system instead of shocking it. The sea salt replenishes minerals like sodium and magnesium that your body quietly burns through overnight. And magnesium, specifically, acts as a natural cortisol regulator. The lemon brings a dose of vitamin C, and research out of the University of Alabama found that around 500 milligrams of vitamin C measurably blunted cortisol spikes following stress. 1 glass of water, before anything else touches your lips. That's the entire first move, and it's already telling your nervous system, we're safe. We don't need to store fat today. Habit number 2. Asano Sanpo, morning sunlight, 2:15 to 3:45. Here's a habit so simple it almost feels like a trick. Except the science behind it is rock solid. Within 30 minutes of waking, step outside, not near a window, outside. Let real sunlight hit your eyes for 5 to 10 minutes. Why does this matter so much? Because light, actual daylight, not the glow of your phone, is the single strongest signal your brain uses to set your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour clock. And when that internal clock drifts out of sync, almost everything downstream drifts with it. Your sleep, your hunger cues, your metabolism, and yes, your cortisol rhythm. Dr. Sachin Panda at the Salk Institute has spent decades studying circadian biology, and his research points to a consistent pattern. People with disrupted circadian rhythms tend to show higher cortisol levels and more visceral belly fat. Here's the chain reaction morning sunlight sets off. Sunlight in your eyes triggers serotonin production during the day. That serotonin later converts into melatonin at night. More melatonin means deeper, more restorative sleep. And deeper sleep means a calmer, better regulated cortisol curve the next morning. One habit, a domino effect that touches your entire day. The Japanese call the morning walk sanpo, and the sunlight isn't an accessory to it. It's the point. This wasn't reverse engineered from a lab. It's a ritual that simply always made sense to a culture that never stopped stepping outside first thing in the morning. Habit number 3, Ma. The art of the pause. This next one might genuinely annoy you. I promise there's a reason. Don't drink coffee for the first 90 minutes after waking up. I know. Let me explain why it's worth the wait. When you first wake up, your brain is saturated with a chemical called adenosine, the molecule responsible for that groggy, sleepy feeling. Under normal conditions, your body naturally clears out most of that adenosine within about 90 minutes of waking. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors. But if you drink coffee the moment you wake up, those receptors are still packed full. The caffeine can't do its job properly. And the adenosine doesn't disappear, it just waits in the wings. Then, later in the day, when the caffeine wears off, all of that backed up adenosine hits you at once. That's your 2 or 3 p.m. crash. Your body reads that crash as stress. Cortisol rises, cravings spike. You reach for something sugary. And the cycle resets itself all over again tomorrow. The Japanese concept of MA, literally the pause, the intentional space between actions, applies perfectly here. It's not about restriction for its own sake. It's about giving your body those first 90 minutes to wake up on its own terms. And when you finally do have that coffee, it works the way it's supposed to. Clean energy, no crash lurking on the other side of the afternoon. Even Dr. Huberman follows this exact rule, delaying his own coffee by 90 to 120 minutes every single morning. If one of the most cited neuroscientists on the planet builds his day around it, it might be worth 10 minutes of your patience. Habit number 4. Sampo. Walk, don't run. This one pushes back against almost everything fitness culture has told you. We've been taught harder workout, more sweat, more fat burned. And for general fitness, sure, intensity has its place, but not in that first hour after waking up, while cortisol is already near its daily peak. Slam your body with a brutal HIIT session, right on top of that natural cortisol spike, and you're not burning fat efficiently. You're stacking stress on top of stress. A study published in the Journal of Endocrinological Investigation found that intense morning exercise can keep cortisol elevated for hours afterward. You'll feel amazing for the first 30 minutes off the endorphin high. But your hormones are quietly paying the bill for the rest of the day. The Japanese alternative is almost disappointingly simple. Just walk, 20 to 30 minutes, easy pace, nothing intense. Here's the part that surprises people. Stanford researchers identified something called optic flow, the visual effect created when your surroundings move past you on both sides as you walk. That specific visual pattern has a direct calming effect on your amygdala, the fear and threat center of your brain. Think of your amygdala as a smoke detector. When it's overly sensitive, it keeps sounding the alarm and keeps cortisol elevated along with it. Walking, especially outdoors where your environment is genuinely moving past you, quietly turns that alarm down. Not a treadmill, not a stationary bike staring at a blank wall. An actual walk outside where the world moves around you. The Japanese never needed a study to tell them this. Sanpo was never exercise to them. It was medicine, long before anyone in a lab coat measured why. Habit number 5, seijaku, silence and stillness. This last one is the simplest to describe and honestly, the hardest for most of us to actually do. For the first 30 minutes after waking, don't touch your phone. No Instagram, no headlines, no inbox. Here's what happens the instant you unlock that screen. Your brain gets flooded all at once with notifications, messages, and headlines. Every single one delivers a tiny hit of dopamine and a tiny hit of cortisol right alongside it. In seconds, your nervous system flips from rest mode into full reactive mode before you've even gotten out of bed. Dr. Anna Lemke, Stanford psychiatrist and author of Dopamine Nation, explains
that this early dopamine flood resets your baseline higher for the entire rest of the day, meaning you'll need more stimulation just to feel normal. More stress, more cortisol, more of your body reaching for that emergency fat storage. Seijaku, stillness, silence, quiet, is the idea that the first 30 minutes of your day belong to you, not your notifications. Drink your water, step outside, breathe, walk. Let your nervous system boot up gently on its own schedule instead of getting jolted straight into chaos before 6:01 a.m. Think of your brain like a computer. You'd never open 50 browser tabs before the operating system has even finished loading. But that's exactly what checking your phone at 6 a.m. does to your nervous system. Let's talk about the bring it home moment, so let's put the whole morning together. Water before coffee, sunlight within 30 minutes, caffeine delayed by 90 minutes, a walk instead of an intense workout, and your phone left alone for just half an hour. None of it costs $1. None of it needs a gym membership, a supplement stack, or a meal plan you'll abandon by Thursday. It just asks you to rethink the first hour you're awake. Because that stubborn belly fat you've been fighting, it was never really a willpower problem. It's a hormone problem, and hormones don't respond to guilt or grinding harder. They respond to habits repeated, quietly, morning after morning. You don't need to overhaul your whole life tonight. You just need tomorrow morning, 1 glass of water, 1 short walk, 1 phone left face down on the nightstand a little longer than usual. Small ritual. Real biology, compounding results. If this changed the way you're going to look at your mornings, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this reach more people who need to hear it. Subscribe to our channel if you want more science-backed strategies like this one every week. And in the comments, tell me, which of these 5 habits are you trying first thing tomorrow morning? I'll see you in the next one.